You've deployed ICE agents to American airports today. Newsmax, sir. You've deployed ICE agents.
You're not doing a very good job.
You've deployed ICE agents.
You're not doing a good job. Did you hear me? Okay, go ahead.
Trump lied, obviously. Iran attacked Kuwait. They attacked Bahrain. They attacked Qatar last night, doing devastating damage. People are now, again, stranded in airports all over the Middle East. There were no peace talks. And just 15 minutes before Trump made that announcement, there was $800 million in trades. I mean, if you look at the graphs, at 6:45 in the morning, there isn't much trading going on in the futures markets. Most people are, driving to work and shit like that. There isn't much trading going on. Even the algorithms aren't trading much because the humans aren't trading much, so they have nothing to respond to. There's suddenly a boom, $800 million spike over a period of 1 minute. So it was an isolated group. This was not. This was a one-off. This is just pure crime, made up, and he lied about the peace talks. This is so bad, folks. It is so obvious what the President of the United States just did. And then on top of that, his bullshit ICE stuff. Have you seen these people walking around the airports? No uniforms, willy-nilly. Some people are in jeans. Some people are wearing, like those fire hose pants you can buy. And some people are in T-shirts. And some people have different dress shirts on. And some people they look like a ragtag group of willy-nilly dumbasses in our airports where the entire world passes through. This is humiliating. We needed to defund ICE. We do. We just needed to defund ICE, period. Just scrap that entire thing and just start over in our enforcement. These are just a bunch of yahoos standing around our airports doing nothing, getting paid by you and me, while the president is out committing financial crimes.
So it has actually happened. We now have ICE agents patrolling our airports around the United States, and we already have some photos and videos coming in of them being there, doing their usual crap, and they are proving to be absolutely useless and completely destructive. I want to show you just some of the clips we have so far, Donald Trump's take on everything so far. And before I do that, please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know your thoughts. If you're in an airport today or you've been in an airport, let me know if you've seen any of this activity. And without further ado, I just want to start here, which is a post that Donald Trump put out last night, which indicates that this government shutdown, this partial shutdown that involves the Department of Homeland Security and, of course, TSA, FEMA, things like that, doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon because Trump does not want any funding to pass unless they pass the SAVE Act with it. Trump said, I don't think we should make any deal with the crazy, country-destroying, radical left Democrats unless and until they vote with Republicans to pass the Save America Act. It is far more important than anything we are doing in the Senate, and that includes giving these same terrible people, the Dems, a $5 billion cut in ICE funding. A deal, even when disguised as something else, is unacceptable to me and the American people unless it includes their approval of voter ID. Republicans will never be elected again if they don't pass this bill. In other words, lump everything together as one and vote, kill the filibuster, stay in DC for Easter if necessary. It just reminds me, before the election, Donald Trump said he would never want to pass any of these big bills again, and now look what he's doing. He's trying to pass it. But first and foremost, obviously he's lying about the SAVE Act. It is not just a voter ID bill. It is much more than that, much worse than that. And this is also, secondly, never going to happen. The Democrats, how is this productive? Why are we paying for this as taxpayers? Why am I paying, and you are paying, and all the people around you are paying for this guy right here to just stand there? Why are we doing that? This TSA agent, this lovely woman, is perfectly capable of doing that job by herself. She does not need somebody hovering over her shoulder. Completely useless. And here's photos from the Atlanta airport of these ICE agents just standing around. I mean, look, put it this way, I'd rather they stand around than terrorize people. Okay, if we're going to do one or the other, I'd rather them just stand around. But why are they here? Look, they're on their phones. They're on their phones. How is this making lines go any faster? How is this making people safer? How is this productive whatsoever? They're on their phones. They're just standing around. They're tweeting, playing video games. Look at this guy. He's on his phone as well. He's checking his social media. Wants to see what's going on Instagram. Maybe he's looking at the Harry Sisson show. Who knows? Who knows? Here's this guy just sitting down, just taking a rest. You know, it's a hard job, isn't it? Walking around airports arrested for no reason. And these ICE agents are afraid of accountability. Don't follow us. Don't follow us. Or in this video, this guy just straight up sprinted. The guy on the left just ran away from everybody. He didn't want his face on camera. He's embarrassed to be an ICE agent. It's insane.
Psst, America, we're being held hostage by a madman. Because Donald Trump has deployed ICE agents to the airports to help out TSA during the government shutdown. Excuse me while I pause for an eye roll. Donald Trump is a one-trick pony. Like Gavin Newsom says, every single time he has a problem, he sends in ICE to terrorize, scare, and intimidate people. Further proving that ICE is not a federal agency, they're his personal police force. But fear is his tool, chaos is his strategy, and the goal is power. Donald Trump has instructed his Republican minions to tank the shutdown deal to fund TSA. Also, he can use that as leverage so the Republicans will pass the SAVE Act and keep him in power. That is what this is all about. The SAVE Act is being sold as patriotic and common sense, but in reality, it will disenfranchise millions of voters from participating in our elections, period. It has nothing to do with protecting democracy, but it has everything to do with who gets to participate in it. Because Donald Trump knows if we can vote, he will lose. Meanwhile, it's blatant corruption, Epstein file cover-ups, war, other global conflicts, threatening American citizens, consolidating media, propaganda, rising costs. It's literally chaos 24 hours a day. But chaos keeps people distracted and afraid, and power stays protected. And this toddler would rather burn this country to the fucking ground and rule over its ashes than give up his power. So again, people of the United States, we are being held hostage by a madman, an orange makeup, diaper-wearing, greedy, narcissistic, wannabe king madman. So I can't think of a better time for a No Kings protest. And the next one is this Saturday, March 28th. And we need to show up in numbers that literally cannot be ignored. And sane Republicans, we have a common enemy, and that's Donald Trump, who wants us divided. So let's do the one thing that he can't control and stand together. Join us at the No Kings rally. Let's take back our country together. What could be more patriotic than that? Unity is the power here, and power is what he's most afraid of losing. And the only thing louder than his chaos is us. Fuck Donald Trump.
When the mentally ill Mad King George and his abusive parliament threatened the freedoms and spirit of Americans, we didn't sit on our hands and whine about it. No, we took to the streets and our country was born. Now it's 250 years later, and there's another mentally ill tyrant, a corrupt would-be king, and his gutless Congress who want to fight crazy foreign wars and crush our freedoms here at home. It didn't work then, and it will not work now, but only if we stop them. This is Robert De Niro imploring you to join me and millions of our fellow citizens in the nonviolent No Kings demonstration on Saturday, March 28th. Go to nokings.org to find, volunteer, or host a protest near you. It's time to make America sane again. See you on the 28th. Thank you.
Senator Cthulhu submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no. No deals with the Democrats. It would have worked. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week. But the president said no deal.
That is Republican Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, who for the rest of this video will be referred to as Senator Shitface. That's Senator Shitface from Louisiana, a Republican senator who's saying out loud they were willing to make a deal with the Democrats to open DHS funding except for ICE and CBP, which would have gotten TSA agents paid by the end of the week, but Trump shut it down. Trump said no. Why? Because Trump says we can't negotiate with Democrats unless they're going to pass the SAVE Act. What is the SAVE Act? The SAVE Act is a way to disenfranchise voters because Trump and all the rest of the Republicans know they are 100% going to lose the midterms, and the Democrats are going to be the majority in the House, and it's looking like they may very well be the majority in the Senate, and Trump knows him and a lot of his cabinet members will get impeached, will get pulled before Congress, will get looking at possible jail time. They know that's going to happen because they know they've been breaking the law. They're so far down their criminal trail, they cannot seize power now. This is how a lot of authoritarian dictators throughout time have came into existence. They've used the existing system to get into power, and then they manipulated and overtook that system to become the sole source of power.
ICE, Iran, the 2020 election, and new election maps all have in common. Allow me to explain to you because this is important. Now, before Trump ever took office, one of the things he talked the most about was mass deportation.
The largest deportation in the history of our country, history of the United States, American history.
That was like one of his biggest talking points because he convinced his MAGA base that immigrants were the source of everybody's problems. And if we just take immigrants out, then we can do whatever. So what ended up happening was that he ignored the Constitution as he deployed ICE across the country. If you protested them, your First Amendment rights were taken away from you. Your property was seized from you. That's your Fourth Amendment right. They would detain American citizens. They put you in abhorrent facilities. Let's look at Iran. First, you got to ask yourself, why did he invade Iran? There was no imminent threat. If they say there was an imminent threat, they're a liar. The reason he invaded Iran was Israel. Israel has been trying to get a president to invade Iran for the better part of 30, 40 years. He finally found a Muppet who was dumb enough to be easily manipulated. Everybody's told everybody that would listen that Donald Trump is easily manipulated. Netanyahu manipulated him. Also, he thought by going to Iran that he might be able to, make some money off of it. It's all about that oil money. The same reason he went to Venezuela and kidnapped their fucking president, which, oh, by the way, the Venezuelan government is still the same exact government it was before they kidnapped the president. 2020 election. This has been a source of Trump's base since 2020.
2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did.
Before 2020, he told everybody, if we lose, it's going to be because they cheated. He prepped the lie for 6 months, and then when he lost, he screamed that they cheated. And then, of course, January 6th happened. Now, what do we see happen as of recently? We've seen Tulsi Gabbard and the Trump administration raid a Georgia election station. All of that is being tied back to this. And then, of course, they took the mask off and just told all the Republican states, hey, redraw your election maps. Texas was a popular one. Anyway, all of this definitely ties back to this. So what is this? This is the 2026 midterms. He said that he would put ICE at polling stations. That's how ICE ties in. If you didn't hear, there's this executive order that's floating around. Nobody's seen it yet, but it's been leaked by insiders that states because of war that he could have presidential authority or wartime powers over the election. There's no such thing. That's made up. They're making it up. It's a cockamamie plan that they're trying to come up with. It goes all the way back to when Trump was talking to Zelensky. He said, well, Zelensky doesn't have elections because they're at war. So if we're at war, no elections.
During the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections?
And they're still trying to claim the 2020 election was stolen because if they can justify all their hype around the 2020 election, they can use that to justify interfering with the 2026 elections. Of course, we know there's no valid complaint. There's no valid evidence that 2020 was a stolen election, as MAGA claims. We know that, but they're trying to fabricate the evidence and manipulate it because they're the ones in power so that they can control 2026 midterms. They're really trying to shut down mail-in ballot. They do not want mail-in voting. They're working very hard to shut that down, and they're getting very close to finding a way to do it because they're manipulating the entire system. Of course, the new election maps are designed to manipulate 2026 midterms. If you haven't figured out yet, their entire goal is to win this 2026 midterms because they know that if it's a free and fair election, there will be a blue tsunami. Now, do the Democrats deserve praise? No. The Democrats are part of the reason that we're here.
But in a two-party system, if you don't vote for one, you got to vote for the other. And nobody, besides about 20% of this country, maybe 30, of the adult voting base, supports what's happening right now, because most people see it for exactly what it is, a totalitarian coup inside of our government by an authoritarian dictator wannabe. And if they can win the 2026 midterms, there won't be a 2028 election. This is the plan. This is a conspiracy. This is real life. In fact, I want to be honest with you, watching it happen in real time, it's shocking to see, even though I predicted it coming, even though many of us predicted it coming. The way they see it, if they can get past the goal line in 2026, it's over. The coup is complete. 2028 election will not even happen. If it does happen, it'll be a farce. So the question immediately becomes, what do we do, Jolly? Motherfucker, you know what to do. We all know what to do. And you want us to organize this on social media. That's not how things should be organized. Organize in your communities. Talk to your neighbors. Organize, organize, organize. Resist.
In Iran, because the Iranian regime has told Sky News, if you put boots on the ground in Iran, it will be another Vietnam. Are you afraid of that?
No, I'm really not afraid of anything.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9:39 a.m. I'm 39 minutes late. I apologize. A little bit late on the downloading and uploading thing with the intro, but I do appreciate you guys waiting. I do see you've been talking in the chat room, so that's good. Everyone's talking amongst themselves. Now, I'm not able to scroll back up all the way to the top. It won't let me on here, so I'm just starting off where Aaron West says, "Hey, everyone." So we got Aaron here, and I know Jolie's here. So we are at full mod capacity. We are at full mod capacity. I believe so. No, I just heard someone. If you see me go look over there, it's because I heard someone talking outside. Last night, I was watching TV. I was laying on the couch. I had my window open to try to get some air in here. You know, I've got these vertical blinds, right? Okay, and you know how you can adjust them with the little thing. So I kind of adjust them, you know, at an angle. Try to leave enough space so that some air can come in, but also so that they're kind of closed, so that when people walk by, they don't just look in and they can just see me sitting on the couch or whatever, just for a little bit of privacy. Now, I don't know if I talked about this before, but this is the third time this has happened in the last few days. There's a lady who walks by, apparently, and when she sees the window open, she cannot help herself to like yell into my window. So I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden, this booming voice, is like, "Hello, what are you doing?" or "How are you doing?" or something like that, and it startled me. So my reaction was like, I think I said, "Jesus fucking Christ," or something like that. That was my reaction. I'm like, "Jesus fucking Christ," And then she laughs, and I'm like, "Why are you yelling into my window?" And she's like, "I'm not yelling into your window." I go, "Please stop doing that. This is not the first time." And she's like, "Look, I've never done it. I don't do this," or what? Or she says, "I've never done this before," or something like that. And I go, "Please, just stop talking into my fucking window." And then she's like, "What's your name?" And I go, and this is through these blinds. I can't see her, and she can't see me, right? And I just stayed on my couch. I was like, I'm still on the couch. She goes, "What's your name?" I go, "It's none of your fucking business." I go, "Get the fuck away from my window." And then I waited for a response, and I guess maybe she just left. I don't know. Now I was thinking about getting up and opening the door or the blinds to see who the fuck she was, because I still don't know who she is. But I was laying on my couch. I was so comfortable. I was like, "Fuck, I'm not getting up for this bitch." So I still don't know exactly who it is that's doing this. It was just like the third time that I've had my windows open, and you could tell her mouth was like right next to the screen or something. And she's like, "Hello, who's in there? What are you doing? How are you doing?" or some shit. I'm like, "Lady, fucking stop talking through my window. What the fuck? Fucking weirdos, man." So that's the window story. Thank you very much. I don't know. I think does it sound like I have a cold? I think I have a cold. Not feeling so great this morning. I've got maybe like an ear infection, like a baby. You know how babies get ear infections? But the weird thing is that a few days ago, it was in this ear. It was just slight, very, very slight. It wasn't like, real sharp pain, but you could just kind of feel something kind of in your ear or kind of back, behind your ear. This little something going on, and I'm thinking, is this an ear infection or something? I don't know. But and then it kind of moved away, but now it seems like it's moved over to this ear. I guess that can happen. Can infections move? I guess they can. I know. Yeah, absolutely they can. So now it's over on this ear. So I don't know. I can feel that there's like, something in there, like fluid or something. I don't know. Anyhow, hello everybody. I see Aaron West here. I see Sandy Foltz. Nick Rich is here. Fancy. Hey, Fancy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. DPD 5844 is here. Petrazi 1920 says FDJT Pine Box. Now, I don't have the echo effect that the political punk has. I see Petrazi over there, political punk, donating money for that dance party. I see you, Petrazi. I see you. If I dance, will you guys donate more money? Is that what I got to do? I got to be your dancing monkey? I got to be your dance monkey? Is that what I got to do? No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, Petrazi, for being here. I appreciate you. Paul Burrow says, help, my country's fallen and I can't get up. Yeah. Lots of good folks there on the intro trying to warn us. Are we going to listen? That's the thing. Are we going to listen? You know, we got No Kings coming up. Hope you guys will participate. Nick Ridge says, hi, Sandy Foltz. Expect a lot of bad shit said about DJT. Squirrel Girl's here. Hello, Squirrel Girl. Good to see you. William is here. Always good to see William. Thanks for being here. Anna Moore. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Anna says, looking at the intro as the POTUS keeps stealing, killing, and lying while the GOP watches. The only thing I can figure is why the GOP is so complicit. Of course, we always suspect that, you know, Trump has compromat on them, compromat. Or some, for some of them, it might be just as simple as thinking, well, Trump's going to take over the country, and so we want to be on his good side, you know, when that happens. Well, I don't know. Michelle says the Republicans aren't getting elected ever. The Republican. Well, I don't know about ever, but certainly if we have free and fair elections this November, they're going to get shellacked. That's for sure. Josh Sees is here. Good to see Josh Sees. Always good to see Josh Sees. Sandy's happy to see you. I see James here. Hey, James, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Thanks for popping on in. DPD says, and as a black woman, I revoke all of the black Nazi Gestapo black cards. They are no longer invited to the cookout. You're talking about like black people that are ICE officers or something? Oh, Sandy says, did the Trump security team talk to TJ yet? Not yet, Sandy. I'm waiting. Screwgirl says, be right back. AFK. Now, I've forgotten what AFK means. Oh, away from keyboard. Okay. Nick Rich says a goal that starts at $5 slows things down. The goal is set at five super chats. So I don't know. Is that so? I mean, of any value. So you know, I don't know. DBD says, "Oh, Aaron, I forgot we were talking about wedding venues." Squirrel Girl, happy truck anniversary! Yippee, Squirrel Girl! Thank you so much. Squirrel Girl has been a member for 7 months. Squirrel Girl says March 28th, no Kings. Yeah, make sure there's probably something going on. I heard there's something like thousands of events all across the country. I think you just go to nokings.org. Is that the one? I got it on there. Right. Does it have the little web address on there? Yeah, www.nokings.org. You can go on there. It'll tell you all about the various things going on. Squirrel Girl following up that Truckiversary with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Squirrel Girl. Yippee! There's a thumbs up and a heart for you. Squirrel Girl says, hope, peace. I hope for peace too. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen until, we get this orange blight out of the White House. DPD says, good morning, opportunity. What are you eating? Oh, I was eating a Jimmy Dean, one of them Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches. Sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant. Was that a croissant I just said? Yeah, I guess it was. Croissant. A croissant. Is that how you say it? All fancy and like croissant? A croissant? Think about the French is they have lots of letters in their words that they don't even pronounce. They're kind of funny that way, those Frenchies. They're kind of funny. 007 Kevin Troll Slayer is here. Troll slaver. Oh man, I totally botched that. Troll slaver. Troll Slayer. I was trying to do a James Bond theme. I don't know. Maybe because I feel a little under the weather. I just can't think straight. I'm not thinking straight right now. I don't know. I'm a little under the weather. Jolie, member for 25 months. Yippee, Jolie. Happy Truckiversary. Full mod capacity. There you go. $25 months. That's over 2 years. Right? If my math is correct. Over 2 years already. Thank you, Jolie. Appreciate you. And Aaron West right behind Jolie with 23 months. Aaron West, yippee, happy Truckiversary. Thanks for being a member. I do appreciate you too. And Aaron says, reminds everyone to like, subscribe, and share. We're at over 4,400 subscribers. We need to get that going. Got a bottle of Hennessy. It's in the closet right now. It's saying, drink me, drink me, drink me. And I'm like, not until we get to 5,000. And he's like, hurry up, people. Hurry up. I want Trucker John to drink me. Is the bottle in the room with us now, John? Yeah. Mr. Spock, was she good looking? Oh, I don't know. I didn't see her. I told you. We did not see each other. Do I have to explain how the blinds work again? I already explained how they're vertical. I had them at an angle so that people can't see in. I can't see out, but it's at an angle so that I can leave a crack open so that some air theoretically could come in. I explained I said at least 3 or 4 times, I couldn't see her. She can't see me, So. You should have invited her in for some Hennessy. She sounds like a fucking crazy fucking person. I'm not inviting crazy people into my apartment. Psycho, like psycho people. Anyhow. Barbarossa says it's a pain in the ass trying to get a bid for a new roof. Lots of storm-damaged homes in St. Marie, Idaho right now. Oh, wow. So they're overtaxed. Or, like, not taxed like tax, but you know what I mean. They're overworked. They're being spread thin with all the people who need new roofs. The people. Aaron West has a meeting in 15 minutes. DPD, $20 super chat. Yippee! DPD, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And DPD says, and add it to your gas tab, TJ. And for the love of all that's holy, stop leaving your window open. Well, yeah, I want to get some air in here, man. Petrazi, you sound kind of nasal. Yeah, I guess I got a head cold. I guess it's a good old-fashioned head cold going on. You know what I mean? Good old-fashioned head cold. A head cold. Julie's got the link there for the No Kings. Want to check out what's going on in your area? DPD sent 5 Trucker John gift memberships. Yippee, DPD. Thank you so much. That'll help us get to 5,000 subs. Maybe those people will come in and sub. Petrazi got one. Mr. Spock. That's pretty cool. Bink C6969. Oh my. God, I never seen that person. That person must be lurking, maybe. I don't know. Justin Q got one. And D Hopewell. So hopefully those folks will come on in and hang out with us and check it out. That'd be nice. So thank you, DPD. Appreciate you. I do appreciate you. I'm just seeing who else is in the chat here. Nick Rich, $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Nick Rich. Yippee! Nick Rich says, is this enough to add to the goal? Sure, any amount. Any amount. No amount is too little. Except maybe a penny. I'll be honest. A penny might be too little. But that's right. They don't make pennies anymore, do they? I think that's a shame. Because now people are going to be giving probably like extra money to pay things, like because they can't make, like, what if they only need a penny or 2 pennies, or anything under a nickel, I guess. How are you going to get change and shit? It just screws up everything. DPD says, yes, TJ, that's what I meant. They are permanently kicked out of all black culture if it were left up to me. Yeah, I haven't seen too many in the videos. I haven't seen too many black guys or black people, but I've seen a lot of look like Latinos, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? You're a traitor. Bunch of traitors, man, to your own people. Your own people. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to open my window when I'm at home sitting here watching TV. I should be able to open my window to get some fresh air into the apartment without someone fucking sticking their head in the screen and yelling into the window. Okay, it's not. Don't make me the bad guy. She was the bad guy. I should be able to open my goddamn window. For fuck's sake. All right? Jesus. Aaron's going off to a meeting. Have a good meeting. You might be gone already. You might have already left. But so just know we're hoping you have a good meeting. DBD says the croissant sounds delicious, TJ. I made chocolate and blueberry croissants once. Nick Rich, 10 a.m. I'm only one little teensy, eensy, weensy, little tiny, itty, itsy, bitsy, little teeny, eeny, weeny, a little minute behind you, Nick Rich. That's it. That's it, man. Not even a minute. Probably less than a minute. 007 Kevin, Troll Slayer. Try not to say slaver this time. Says Aaron West, still doing my Transformers play robots. I just surprised myself, but I put in Michael Jordan Steakhouse and boom, it did something. It AI'd. Oh, it AI'd. Okay. And Art Robot, my mouth dropped. Okay, I must be midstream, on a thread there, mid-thread. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I almost feel bad that I read that. Anna Moore says, TJ, I plan to attend the No King's Day in Trenton, New Jersey on Saturday. Awesome. That's very, very nice. 007 Troll Slayer says, TJ, you silly. You silly boy. I am a silly boy. Mr. Spot, put bars on your window. Shouldn't have to. Why? Okay, I understand if I leave the house, I will shut the window and lock it and latch it. When I'm in the house, in the apartment, whatever. Okay, whatever, guys. Whatever. I'm not going to go round and round and round on this. James Harmino says, yep, we started rounding up. You get 2 cents back. We give you a nickel. Are we getting richer yet? Well, I don't know. It might take a while. Josh C's really wants me to fart out the window. Okay, whatever. DBD, it's like I can just fart on demand. Maybe you can, but I don't think I can. DBD says, who's making you the bad guy, TJ? We're just concerned for your safety. Well, you make it sound like I'm living in New Jack City or something, or what's the one? Escape from New York or something. Okay, I mean, come on, relax, guys. MJ Daniel is here. Says, "Good morning. Good morning to you as well." I know it was just a little. You forgot the G. MJ Daniel from there in Washington State, all the way from Washington State, is here. Thanks, MJ. Good to see you. Mr. Spock, but ninjas might come in through the window. All right, I've caught up with the chat, so now what do? MJ Daniel says, Warriors come out and play. Yeah, what am I? Is this the Warriors? Warriors, come out and play. I watched that movie the other day. Not the other day. What did I say the other day? It wasn't the other day, but it was fairly recently. Probably last year. So not even close to being the other day, but I think I rewatched it. I think it popped in. You know how these movies pop in on YouTube? And I'm like, I guess I'll watch it. And I remember at the time, I really liked that movie back in the day when I first saw it. You know, I guess was I still a teenager when that came out? I don't know, or I was pretty young, I guess. Or maybe it was, I don't know, was I in my early 20s? Whatever it was. I remember really liking the movie. I thought, well, it was a really kick-ass movie, and it was cool. It was cool, you know, like these group of kind of this underdog. They were like this little gang. They were like, you know, they weren't as big as the big gangs, you know, whatever. And they're kind of trapped, and they fight their way through and get out and all that. I thought it was really cool, you know. But then rewatching it, I was kind of like, this is kind of corny, you know. It's kind of weird how movies kind of don't hold up. But it was, I mean, it's still cool. I mean, I still like it, but it's like, you know, it just wasn't as good as I remembered it being. But that is an iconic scene where, and the guy has like the beer bottles. He's like ding ding. He's like clinging them together, you know. And he's like, "Warriors, come out to play." That is one of those scenes, you know. Nick Trick, how's the tourism in Vegas? I don't know. I mean, it looks good to me. A lot of people here for March Madness, and we're getting into spring break time and spring stuff, and you know, people are still coming. Mr. Spock. How about a one-line Elvis mashup? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? What are you talking about there? One line mashup. I don't know what you mean. What you talking about? Hey, Mr. Spock. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by that one line mashup. Now you want to get some mashed potatoes? I'll take some mashed potatoes, but I don't know what this mashup thing is you're talking about, Mr. Spock. But get me some mashed potatoes and some gravy. Oh boy. My mama used to make some great mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh, thank you very much. MJ Daniel, kind of silly but fun movie. Yeah. TBD says, TJ, I live in a very nice community. I know all of my neighbors. We have ring cams and a security system. But hell to the no, would never, ever leave my windows or doors unlocked. My windows weren't unlocked, by the way. I mean, well, I mean, it is open, so I guess it's unlocked. But I didn't leave it. I mean, I'm here. It's not like I left the building, you know. Mr. Spock, one line from Elvis Hits. Give me a little something like this. Love me tender, you're nothing but a hound dog. What else? I have to think of the hits now. I know he had a lot of hits. I don't know. I can't think of the hits now. Little sister, put a ring on. I can't think of it. I can't do stuff like that on the spot. You put me on the spot, Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock put me on the spot. Ain't nothing but a hound dog, loving me tender all the time. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. And a hound dog. Nick Rich says, normally Trucker John would be 20 minutes behind. This is how I like it. Is it? Is it, Nick Rich? Is this how you like it? Just for that, I'm going to not say anything for 20 minutes. Just so I can be 20 minutes behind. I'm just kidding you. Yeah, William says Trump went to Graceland. I hope he didn't steal any gold records. I saw that. Was it Tommy that played the clip last night on Political Punk, or somebody, or maybe it was, I don't know. Probably a lot of people. Yeah, I saw he was there. And again, just being weird, weird Trump, and asking like, do you think if we got in a fight, you think he could take me? Do you think Elvis could take me in a fight? I mean, this is our president. Our president is such a dork. So do you think Elvis could take me? Fuck you. My fucking little finger could take you. At least I've been in some fights. Not that I was a big brawler, and like some guys I know that were just brawlers, but I've been in a few fights. I mean, it's been 40 years since I was in a fight, probably, right? But I was in some fights in like junior high and high school, even elementary school, all the school years, college years. I got into some fights, shit like that, bars and shit. So I've been in some fights, but I don't think Donald Trump has ever been in a fucking fight in his life. So what is he thinking? And now he's 80 years old. Come on, dude. But I guess he's thinking, okay, in my prime, in Elvis's prime, okay, who would win? Me or Elvis? And look, not that Elvis was some badass, but I mean, he trained in martial arts, and I think he had some sort of a belt. I don't know. And again, Donald Trump has nothing. Donald Trump has just been a fucking worthless piece of shit his whole life. Who do you think? Okay. Guess me and Elvis. And then the people in I hated how the people in that clip were just kissing his ass. Stop with the kissing of the ass, please. Please. Stop with the kissing of the ass. I'm so sick and tired of people kissing Donald Trump's ass. Just tell him, no, sir, Elvis would kick your ass. And not because Elvis was particularly like the greatest martial artist in the world, because I'm sure he wasn't. He was probably mediocre at best. But it's just that you are such a fucking oaf that, Elvis would wipe the floor with you. That's what I want to hear someone say. Stop kissing Donald Trump's ass. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it, and he will not return any fucking loyalty to you. He will burn you and throw you under the bus the first chance he gets. So stop kissing his ass. God damn these people. Okay, so here's 007 Troll Slayer giving it a shot. If I can believe in the ghetto, hunka burning love, like a hound dog, yeah, all the time. Nick Rich, Hero Yam Slava. That sounds like a delicious sandwich to me. But anyhow, yeah, Slava Ukraini. Slava Ukraini. Slava Ukraini. DPD says, why is the Nazi Gestapo detaining individuals to try and take a sample of their DNA? I don't know. This is the first time hearing of it. James Hardy, my hands are shaking. My knees are weak. I can't even stand upon my own 2 feet. Oh, doing a little thing called the jailhouse rock in the ghetto. William, he couldn't name one song by Elvis. Trump. So he goes to his go-to is, so do you think Elvis could take me? Yeah, he would kick the shit out of you. Oh, is Mad Mac? Did I just sort of skip over Mad Mac? Like, I don't know. Oh, there's Mad Max, Slava Ukraini. Oh, love me tender, love me true. Nick Rich, 20 minutes of silence? Yes, Nick Rich, 20 minutes of silence, just so I can be 20 minutes behind. Silence is golden, isn't it? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. I definitely got this weird, like every time I kind of talk or move my jaw, I can hear this like something in my ear, like I can hear it kind of like, I don't know, like there's fluid back in there or something. Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Troll Slayer, no assy, no kissy. Damon Dog is here again. Thank you very much. Hey, Damon Dog, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Always for popping on in. Viva Las Vegas. I love that movie. I know it's goofy and corny. Elvis made a lot of goofy, corny movies, but I love Viva Las Vegas. Maybe because Anne Margaret's in it. They had an undeniable chemistry. I think they've denied that they ever did anything extramarital or whatever you call it. But whether they did or they didn't, that doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that they had on-screen chemistry that just jumped out of the screen. It was, and even as I don't know, what was I, 7 years old or 8 years old when we went to the movies to watch it. I just loved it. I loved Elvis. I loved Anne. I loved the race cars. I loved the music. I loved it all. And talking about how movies don't hold up, like, and the Warriors didn't seem as cool as it did like back in whatever year it came out. Viva Las Vegas it's not supposed it's supposed to be a goofy romp, like Elvis, excuse for Elvis to sing and shake his hips and have pretty girls around him. So to me that it holds up, not that it's like it's not dated, because it certainly is dated, but I can watch Viva Las Vegas and still enjoy it, I think, just as much as I do now as I did, almost 60 years ago or 55, 58 years ago, or however long it's been. Damon Dog, the big dog. I hope your chitty is okay. I saw your video on Facebook. Damon Dog had a titty injury. Oh, thank you very much. DBD says, I think someone should secretly explain to Chuck Schumer that he supports the orange pedophile because Schumer has given unwavering support to Netanyahu, who has endorsed Viktor Orban. It's Orban, right? The problem with, Chuck Schumer's got to go because he is still living in the 80s. I mean, he hasn't moved on from the fact that that Netanyahu is a fucking criminal. Chuck Schumer can't see that because he wants to give his undying support to Israel, which I do too. to Israel, but not to Netanyahu. You know, there's a difference. And for some reason, Schumer doesn't seem to be able to separate that. You know, people should be able to go, okay, look, we support Israel's right to exist. We agreed that they have a right to defend themselves. But we don't agree that they have the right to commit a genocide against Palestinians. And we don't believe that they have the right to just start World War III here, you know. So I think Chuck Schumer is just stuck in the past, you know. And Moore says Elvis was also a soldier, unlike the Orange Pedo. Yeah, at least Elvis, you know, he got drafted and went to Germany, met his 14-year-old future wife. But where they said they never did anything, you know, other than just kind of like hang out and talk and stuff, which I believe it. I know people are like, do you really believe that? If you believe that, then I've got a bridge in Oklahoma I can sell you or whatever, you know. But I do believe it. I believe that they didn't have any type of sex or anything like that. I do believe he fell in love with her, and she was, I think, was she only like 14, Priscilla, or 16 or something like that? And he was what, in his, I guess, well into his 20s or something. I don't know. I do believe that he probably just instantly fell in love with her. There was something, you know, about Priscilla that that he was drawn to. Excuse me with the cough. But I do believe that he knew that, hey, I can't do anything with this girl. That would not be right. And I think so. I believe it. I believe them when they say that they never messed around. They never did anything like that. Because Priscilla says that too. So anyhow, but there are people that will look at you like, oh, you're an idiot. You're a naive, you know, I don't know, boob. You're a naive boob. If you believe that, well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be so cynical. How about that? Maybe you shouldn't be so cynical. Love me tender. Trill says, Damon, we got guests today on show. Are you talking about 21st Century, maybe? Or who? Which show has the guest? Where's the guest? The guest with the best. William says Elvis at least had the balls to serve. Yeah, he didn't use any weird excuse to get out. And that was before, wasn't that really before things really started ramping up in Vietnam? And so they weren't really sending people to Vietnam. He ended up in Germany, I think, right? Nick Rich, does anyone have an old Elvis vinyl record? You know what? I don't know. So much of my stuff got stolen. I used to have a bunch of, I had not a bunch, but I had a few Elvis records that were from my dad's collection. Cause he had, I think it had like 2 or 3 Elvis records, like LPs. I also had some 45s, but like I said, so much of my stuff has gotten stolen. I'm not sure if I still have it, but if I did, I guess it would be in storage, in my storage unit that I need to get cleaned out. Victor Harshmas, hey Victor, by the way, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Victor says, morning, have you ever seen Elvis's movie Change of Habit? It's one of my favorites. Is that the one with the nuns or something? Was that a nun movie? I think there might have been some nuns in there because of habit. I probably saw it. DPD says, is the Geneva Convention still relevant because every patient in Cuba who was on a ventilator died because they have no power because of the orange pedophile and the Nazi regime? Well, we know that Donald Trump is a war criminal. Probably has been for a while, but just going into what's going on now in Iran, and attacking civilian areas, that's a war crime. And I looked it up last night. I was wondering how many Iranians have been killed due to this bombing that we're doing there in Iran, and they have it at 1,700 as of last night. Probably goes up every day. Every day that we lob bombs, and when you're bombing things, people die. So, but as of last night, it was about 1,700 with I think like 250 children. At the beginning of this war, I saw the right wingers. The first thing they came out with was, the Democrats, they don't care that the Iranians are killing their own people. That's when the Iranians, they were protesting, and I guess their Imperial Republic Guard or whatever killed thousands of Iranian protesters, thousands of them, I guess. And so their thing was like, the Democrats didn't care about that, and they didn't want to do anything about that, I'm not sure what was their argument. Yeah, we care about it, but that doesn't mean we're gonna. So what we're gonna say? Wait, we're gonna say, hey, Ayatollahs, hold my beer. Let us do the killing. That's basically what is going on here. It's like, what, you're killing your own people? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let us do that. I mean, what the fuck? Donald Trump has done nothing but really kind of take a country that was sort of, they were protesting. I'm not going to say it was a revolt or a civil war or anything like that, but there was definitely a lot of unrest and a lot of dissatisfaction with the current government. And what we've done now is we've made them united against us. Damon Dog says, my titty still hurts. The corner of that metal bar was sharp. Got me right on the nipple. Woof. Yeah, it's just making me kind of like, just thinking about it. I'm grabbing my nips as we speak. Robert Perez from down San Diego way. Good to see you, Robert. Robert says, good morning to all lovers of democracy. I love democracy, oh so much. I'll never let it go. Nola Carnage is here. Hey, Nola, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Thanks for popping on in. Nola says, today the well is being dug up. Backyard is flooded. Glad I don't have to pay for that. Yeah, that sounds kind of hairy. Sounds kind of hairy. A little hairy. Mad Mac, I've got Blue Hawaii and GI Blues. Oh, yeah. Those are probably, movie soundtrack or movie whatever's. Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember the ones that I got from my dad. And I think we had the one with all the gold suits on it. Remember? There's like him with a bunch of wearing gold suits. I think we got that one. I don't know. So I need to get my stuff out of storage to see what I can still have. I have a feeling that might have got stolen. I know I got some old Beatles, a couple old Beatles albums too. I don't know if those are still around. Jolie says, I had a crush on a guy that was 40 when I was 17. I chased him relentlessly. Finally got him, but not until I was 21 years old. There's guys out there that wait. It's not naive to think that. I have a story. Should I tell my story? At the risk of sounding like a perv? Should I tell my story where you guys all might leave the channel forever if I tell this story? You might not like me ever again. Not that you like me now, but I don't know. Should I tell my story? I have a story. Kind of like that. I wasn't 40. All right, I'm going to tell the story at the risk of losing my entire viewership. With all this, I don't know, Me Too from a few years ago, and now with all the Epstein stuff, I don't know how you guys are going to take this. But okay, so it was about 1987. I had been out of school for a while, for like 5 years, and then I went back to college in '86, I guess it was, at the junior college where I lived. It was called Victor Valley College. I played football. I got a scholarship to go back to go to a 4-year school for the next season, called New Mexico Highlands University, and that's up in Las Vegas, New Mexico. I've told this before. I've only lived in 2 cities where I actually took residence in, I guess, outside of my native California. The only 2 places I've ever actually lived, no, I'm not talking about like breathing, but where I actually lived and had a place to live and everything. The only 2 places I've ever lived out of the state of California are both called Las Vegas. And they're not the same Las Vegas. One was in New Mexico and the other one is here in Nevada. And so anyhow, the next year I went to New Mexico. I was 26 years old. So I was like, I'm sure I was the oldest guy on the team. Everyone, they're all 18, 19. The oldest guys I met, it might have been 20, I guess, maybe 21. So I'm 26 years old. I mean, I'm kind of a young 26, I guess. I mean, I always felt like I looked younger than what I did. I was going to try to find a picture of me. I have pictures from there, but it's just too hard to find, I guess. Anyhow, it'll just drag this down. So anyhow, I was 26 years old, and I turned 27, in October. So you might as well just say I was 27. I was almost 27. Okay, so, and I'm at this college, and there's lots of girls there, and everyone's doing the college thing. Everyone wants to hook up and party and hook up. And most of these girls, they're like, 18, 19, I guess. And I don't know, what was I supposed to do? So there was a couple hookups here and there, but they were all at least, over 18, right? I was just doing the college thing, man, partying and hooking up. So this one time, okay, I went to this party. There was a party in town there. Somebody had like a house party. I forget who it was. It was some friend of one of the players or something. And I remember I went over there, and I'm just walking around, and there wasn't really a whole lot of people there, but it was like I said, it was a house party. In New Mexico, in the wintertime now, because now we're like, it might have been fall. I forget the exact time of year, but it was probably at least October, because that's when it started getting cold. It didn't really start getting cold until November. It might have been November. So anyhow, I'm at this party and I'm walking around. I think I went to use the restroom. I'm looking for the restroom. So I use the restroom or whatever. And then, so I'm down this hallway of this house. And then as I'm walking up the hallway, I look, and there's a bedroom. And there's this girl in the bedroom. Just, I don't know, she was by herself. And she was really super cute. I mean, so cute. Cute as a button. I mean, this cute. I mean, just immediately when I saw her, I was just like, and I just go, hi, or whatever. I don't know what I did, but, and her face lit up because she looked like she was, I don't know. She looked like she was just alone. And then as soon as she saw me and I said, hey, hi there, or whatever. And her face just lit up, I don't know. And so, I don't know, I just walked in and we just started talking. And, I don't even remember what we were saying, because this has been 40 fucking years ago now, right? Just about, or over 40, no, like 39 or whatever. So we're just talking and having a great time. I just totally just enjoying each other's company, and just having a great conversation. But I remember the house was fucking freezing. Because in New Mexico, like I was saying, and not just New Mexico is the only place, but New Mexico, up there in Las Vegas, New Mexico, that was one of the coldest places I think I've ever lived in. It was so cold. I mean, the daytime high would be 14 degrees. It'd be bright and sunny, and the daytime high was 14 degrees, like once winter set in. Because it was kind of hot in summer, but whatever. And so we're both freezing because our jackets, I guess we left them in the jacket room or whatever. I don't know. And we're just sitting there, and right in front of us was this fucking king size bed. Beautiful giant king size bed with a giant, beautiful, like big fluffy comforter that looked very inviting. And we were literally talking about how cold we were, So I just go like, you want to get under the covers? She's like, yeah. I go, okay. So I think we just took our shoes off, and that's all we took off. We didn't take anything else off. We just took our shoes off, and we got under that fucking comforter, and we just like snuggled and just. So we're just like, we're kind of like spooning or whatever, and we're just we're just talking. We're just, I mean, nothing was really going on, right? I was really genuinely just enjoying talking to this young lady. She was really, there was something about her that was very, I don't know. You know how you just hit it off. You have talk about chemistry with like Anne Margaret and Elvis. There was like a chemistry. There was just something there that we really, I just, was having a good time talking to her. And then we're in bed and we are like cuddling and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, it's body heat, the body heat will keep us warm. And then all of a sudden, so we're just talking. All of a sudden, this guy walks into the bedroom. And I think the door was open. We never shut the door, nothing like that. All of a sudden, this guy walks in. And the guy is Mark. His name is Mark. And he wasn't a player on the team, but he was he was a young guy, like a student, what do they call him? I don't know, but he was one of the trainers. I think he might have graduated, but he came back and he was one of the athletic trainers. Like he would help. He would like tape ankles and he'd do that kind of shit. And so all of a sudden he walks in, and I kind of like turned my head because we were kind of laying on our sides, right? And I kind of turned back, and then he walks in and he goes, what the fuck? And then that's when I guess that's when I turned and he saw me and he goes, Fowler. Oh, he goes, oh fuck. And then he goes, Maria, get out of there. And And then I just flung the comforter open just to let them know that like we weren't naked and we weren't doing anything, you know. And I go, hey, look, we're no. I go, we're just, you know, we're just laying here, man. We're just trying to stay warm. And he's like, Maria, get out of there. And then he goes, this is my sister. And he goes, she's fucking 14. And I was just like, oh my God. And he goes, Maria. And so she gets out and he grabs her hand and starts, you know, leading her out of the room. And I was like, dude, I go, nothing happened. We're just talking. We were just talking. And he's just like, I'm taking, come on, Maria, I'm taking you home. I'm getting you home and all that. And the whole time Maria's just like, kind of like looking at me and she's like, call me. But I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. 14? So you guys can all leave now if you want to leave. I mean, I knew she was young. I just thought she was a college girl, like 18 or 19. I had no idea she was 14. So I was like, oh my God. I felt so like I was just, I was awful. I just totally felt so bad. Like, oh my God. So anyhow, he drags her off and takes her home. And then I'm just like, I'm kind of like, I just went back to my dorm. I just left. Because I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I was 27 years old, you know? So again, if you guys don't want to disown me, I understand. So anyhow, I saw Mark later at practice, I guess, or whatever. And I was like, dude, I go, man, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. But I go, and just no, we didn't do anything. We were just talking and stuff like that. And he goes, dude, don't worry. She's crazy. She does this kind of shit all the time, or there's just something wrong with my sister. That's what he was saying. And I was just like, well, dude, I mean, I didn't mean anything by it, and I'm sorry. And he's like, don't worry about it. So then the next week, now, I don't know, I've also told the story about how I lost my eligibility to play football. So the next week was a football game, and I wasn't suited up because I was ineligible. It's a long story about grades not transferring over, and so I wasn't able to play the rest of that season. So I'm on the sideline just watching the game, and I kept hearing someone go, John. And I was like, oh my God. And I kind of looked, you know, side of my eye, and it was fucking Maria. That's how, it's been 40 years, guys. Okay. I think it's Marie. And I'm like, and I just tried to just play it off like I didn't see her. But for the whole first half of the game, every time because I'm walking around, I'm cheering the team on. I'm just cheering my team on. But I'm hearing her, and I can kind of see sometimes through the corner of my eye, like she's waving. She's trying to wave me down. She's like, John. But I'm just totally blowing her off, you know. Because I'm like, I don't want to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean, but I was like, I could go to fucking prison for like, that's what I'm thinking. I could go to fucking prison for like 20 years, probably for just what we did. Just like spooning and snuggling in the bed. I could probably go to prison for that. Just for that. That's what so I'm like, just totally ignoring her. So then it's halftime, and then I just stayed out on the field because I wasn't playing, and there's no reason for me to go into the locker room or anything. So I just stayed out on the field, on the sidelines. And then all of a sudden I turn around, and there she is, like right there. She's like, John. And with her were her parents. She goes, hi, this is my mom. And her mom was really cute too. Her mom looked just like Marie, actually. I mean, her mom was kind of young. I don't think her mom was just like in her 40s or something. She goes, this is my mom. And then her mom comes up, she shakes my hand. She goes, "Oh, Maria's told me so much about you." And I'm just like shaking her hand. I'm like, "Okay." and she goes, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah, nice to meet you." And then she goes, "This is my dad." And her dad looked like he was way older than the mom, like 20 years older. And he looked like some Indian chief from a tribe or something. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to sound racist, but he looked like some Indian dude. And he was very like, kind of like, but he shook my hand. He goes, "Yes, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Yeah, nice to meet you." And I go, "So, I'm like, what brings you guys here?" Or whatever. I don't know. They're like, "Oh, we're just watching the game." And then I was like, and the mom was like totally into like meeting me. She was looked very, like, I don't know what the deal was. I have no idea what that was about. And I'm just thinking, why did she bring her parents down? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? So then I'm like, oh, hey, it was nice meeting you guys. I got to go in with the team now, even though I didn't have to. But I'm like, yeah, I got to go into the locker room now with coach wants everyone there, even if you're not suited up or whatever. So talk to you guys later. So then I just went back into the locker room, and I saw Mark, the brother, right? And I go, "Mark, dude," I go, "your sister's out there, and she just introduced me to your parents." And Mark just rolls his eyes, and he's like, "Oh," and he goes, "Oh my God." I go, "Dude," I go, "I'm trying to stay away from her, I'm not doing this." And he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, man. I'll take care of it." And but he's just like, he's like, "Yeah, they're all weird or something. I don't know." So anyhow, I'm able to stay clear of her for the rest of the game. And I never saw her again after that. So whatever, Mark did something. But maybe they didn't know I was 27. The parents, I don't know. Maybe she didn't tell them that part, and they just thought, "Hey, this is a nice young man for our daughter who's only 14." I don't know, but I never saw her again after that. But I was just thinking like, "Oh my God, I'm going to go to prison." Now maybe the saving grace is that it was New Mexico, and I think in New Mexico maybe they don't give a fuck. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that they just, maybe that's a common thing in New Mexico. I don't know. But so that's my dirty little secret that now the whole world knows. But she was a great little gal and a great, kid. She's a kid though. And I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't trying to like, do anything. So that was scary. So now you guys can all hate me. Let me see what's going on with the chat. Now I am 20 minutes behind, huh, Nick Rich? I probably am 20 minutes behind now. You guys talking about Elvis? DPD says, when I was 25, I dated a guy 35. Oh, 35 years older. Wow. But at least you were 25. You weren't 14. Oh, there's Sandy Fultz. Sandy says, TJ, when you drive a cab, how long does a customer have to wait for you to show up? Is there a wait time? Well, so if they're not, if they've called the cab, then they have to wait for however long it takes you to get there. But 99.9% of my rides, I pick people up right from the hotel. So they're just waiting in line. I mean, sometimes those lines that they wait in, they could be waiting in line for 20 or 30 minutes. Just depends on how many cabs are there and how big the line is. Sometimes they just get in line and 1 minute less, 10 seconds later they get a cab. So it just depends on how long the line is, I guess. Petrozzi says, when I was 17, I dated a 27-year-old. But again, Well, 17 is under 18, but that's not as bad as 14. I can definitely feel or hear like kind of like fluid in my ear. Like I guess it's fluid. I don't know. It makes a weird kind of spongy spongy sound or something. Anymore, you were always on my mind. One of my favorites. You were always on my mind. Oh yeah, Willie Nelson made a big hit out of that. Elizabeth Martinez, buenos dias. Buenos dias to you as well. Hope you don't hate me. DVDs, TJ, you were 26 and they were all over 18. You didn't. No, they weren't all apparently. Well, that's probably before I got to the 14-year-old part. Jolie says my guy wouldn't even date me at 18. Made me wait till I was 21, just for good measure. Yeah, absolutely. That's now I will admit that when I was 31, or was I 31 or 30 or 31? No, I guess I was 31. I was dating a 21-year-old. Yep. But that wasn't, nothing wrong with that. We had a pretty good relationship. We're still friends on Facebook. David Doug, sorry, I'm slow at responding. I'm listening and cleaning. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just skipping down to see if you guys hate me. 007 Kevin says we no leave. Anamore says, TJ, you're lucky the parents did not have you arrested. I think the parents wanted me to marry her. That's the feeling I got. Like they were trying to marry her off or something. And look, she was beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. She probably grew up to be a freaking rocket scientist or something. She was probably brilliant. But the feeling I got is the parents they wanted us to get married or something. I don't know. DPD says, TJ, you did nothing wrong. My question would be, what was a 14-year-old doing at a college party anyway? TJ, you were innocent. Now, if you had called her afterwards, that's something different. Well, I just felt bad. Like I should have known. Like I should have, like in retrospect. But like I said, it was a college party. It's still, but even a 26, 27-year-old partying with 18 and 19-year-olds, that's looking back on it now. At the time, I guess it didn't seem so bad, but looking back on it now, it does seem a little skeezy. One of my words. It seems a little skeezy. But again, I don't know. I mean, when I was 26, I mean, I don't know. I always felt like I was younger, and I kind of just, I don't know. If I'm trying to make excuses or what, but nothing is saving on here anymore. All my my stuff isn't saving. I mean, I don't like this system here of trying to find shit. Well, anyhow. So, I think about all the stuff that's going on, and I almost feel like, well, I've got no, you know, I don't have a leg to stand on here or whatever. Jay's hearing me. Nice to meet you. Can I leave now? Sandy Foltz. He was reported. No joke. Maybe I should report you, Sandy. Ever think of that? Maybe I'll report you. Do 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 do. I'm still wondering, should I allow someone to be in here who reports me to the White House because they don't like what I say about Trump? Should I even allow that person in here? I don't know. So yeah, I'm just skipping down here in the chat. MJ Daniel says, when I was 14, I hit on a friend of my mother. Never went anywhere. She thought it was cute. There was a couple mothers of friends of mine that we got a little flirtatious, you know, let's just put it that way. Like when I was in high school. There was some flirting going on. Sandy Foltz. I'm 62 and I like to date guys in their 30s. Well, who doesn't, Sandy? Who doesn't? Nick Rich says, in retrospect, our entire lives have moments of doubt about what we've done. DPD says, TJ, did you ever look her up over the years to find out what happened to her? You never know. She may be your soulmate now. You look her up. You know what, DPD? I did look her up about, I don't know, 10 years ago? Maybe longer? I tried, I wasn't sure how to do it. I think I went on some sort of a dating site, you know, and I looked up in New Mexico and I found someone on there that had a profile that really looked a lot like her, and the age, the numbers all worked out, you know, like of how old she would be and everything. I think that was her. But we never did make contact or anything. Yeah, I don't remember. I know we never did. I forget what the deal was on that. But I did see this profile page that looked like it could have been her. Like if you extrapolate out, like, I don't know, 30 years later or whatever it would be. Because I do think about that every now and then. Like, wow, man, first thing I think of is, wow, I really dodged a bullet there, you know. And then, but also I think about how she was really cool and nice, and how we connected and everything. So I did look. I tried to look up. I don't know if that was her. I don't know if that was her, the one that I saw, but it sure did look like her. And she was in around that area in New Mexico, and the age and everything all checked out. So I don't know, that's as far as I went with that. But, you know, oh, Victor's gonna go bounce over to Boston Brian. I guess Brian's coming on right now. Let me just put it on over here. One minute, 37 seconds to Boston Brian. So yeah, I'll probably be ending the show here pretty soon. Even though I was late, I might end it soon because I'm not feeling so great with this weird head cold I got, and so I might go ahead and not do a full 2-hour show today anyhow. And then if you guys want to head over to Boston Brian, if you do, just say hi from Trucker John, you know, or something like that. Animor says it's funny that you said that DVD. I was thinking that she was the one that got away before TJ mentioned her age. Oh, she, you know, she was really cute and just this sort of what do you call it? Electric, or you know, she had this personality that it did kind of draw you in, you know. Troll Slayer, stranger danger dating site. No, I don't. I forget what. I don't know what it was, but there was some deal. I remember checking around because I kind of thought, I wonder what Marie is doing. You know, if she's still around or whatever. If that was her, apparently she was single. She was on a dating site, still looking cute as a button. DBD says, "Damn TJ, but do you believe in soulmates? And do you believe you have one?" I don't. I don't believe in soulmates. I do believe that in chemistry, I do believe that people can really hit it off, and they can be just sort of where they're really strongly attracted to one another. But I don't believe that's a. I think people misconstrue that as being a soulmate, like they've only got this one soulmate out there. They just have to find each other. I don't believe in any of that crap. But I do believe that people can be very strongly attracted to one another for whatever reason. You know, just things just line up just right. You know, and so people, I think that's what happens, and people say, "Yeah, it's my soulmate." Well, I think maybe you just found someone that really, where you just really hit it off, and it's not to say that, you know, you have all the same likes and dislikes, and sometimes it's, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, that really isn't it, you know, about having all the same likes and dislikes, and so yeah, there's just something else, you know, there's just a thing where you just click, you know, and but I don't think that's a soul. I don't think there's such thing as a soulmate. You know, maybe because I don't believe in souls. I don't know. Actually, um, I don't know about the whole soul thing. You know, Squirrel, hope you feel better. Yeah, I got this stupid cold. Mad Mac, end the show when you want. Need to TJ. We enjoy being here together. I enjoy having you guys here. You guys brighten my day. You do brighten my day. Robert Perez, it sucks when only one person is in love. Yeah, that's not good. Mad Mac, go get her, TJ. If she's on a dating, this is 10, 12 years, 12, 15 years ago. I don't know. She wants you to load her trailer and drive. Again, let me reiterate. That was at least 10 or 15 years ago when I did that, when I checked it out. DPD says, TJ, what you were describing is what me and husband call kismet. You'll find it, TJ. Sandy Fold says, you should take some cold meds. Yeah, what should I take? I don't know. I'm not sure what to take. Anyhow, why am I listening to you, Sandy? You reported me to the White House. Why am I even listening to you? IAB YouTubing says airborne lozenges help when I get colds. It has vitamin C and zinc. Yeah, maybe I'll get some of that. So yeah, guys, I guess we'll call it a day. I'm gonna go maybe lay down for a little bit. Mad Max says Dayquil. Dayquil is magic. I think that's when yeah, Dayquil seems like more like when you have the flu or something, but I don't know. Maybe not. All right, so today is Tuesday, so I'll see you guys again on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hopefully, I'll feel better by then. I hope you guys all feel better by then. Thank you for not leaving me when I told you my story of being pedo. Nick Chris says a shot of Hennessy. Well, if you can get me to 5,000 subscribers, like right now, then I'll open that bottle. Barbara Nichols says I don't regret any of my a-hole exes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have my wonderful children. Yeah, it all leads to where you need to be. You know, everything. That's when people say things happen for a reason, is because everything leads you to where you are. You know. And Amor says you should pursue her. TJ sounds, I guess, like you're a match. I think that ship has sailed. Sandy Folds, Mr. Cookie, Paul, Purple Head Beard Guy. Oh, okay. Purple Beard Guy, Cookie Guy. Oh my gosh. You guys really Scroll not going anywhere, TJ. Robert Perez, says John, you need to stop doing cocaine lines off the toilet seats. That's why you're sick. David Dog, Trucker John Raid. Yeah, hold my beer. I'll do cocaine off the toilet seat. Did someone say cocaine? Hey, RFK Jr., you're a pussy. I've snorted cocaine off of everything you could imagine. Off a dead bear's ass. How's that, RFK Jr.? Huh? Top that one. Now, hey, you kids at home, not that I'm advocating for, illicit drug use. I'm just saying, back in the day, old Tough Cookie could put down some lines, some railers, if you know what I mean. All right? So fuck you, RFK Jr. Fuck you. Oh, here I am. I wasn't ready to come right in. I was powdering my nose. No, not really. I was not powdering my nose. Enough of this drug talk. Come on. This is the 2026. This isn't 1986. Okay, so. Oh, I see Ivy YouTubing with a $2 super sticker. Thank you, Ivy YouTubing. I'm sure Trucker John appreciates it. We all appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, we're not going to be doing any no more drug talk. This is 2026. We don't do that shit. Okay, those the 80s. Whew. Trucker John had his story. I have some stories about the 80s and cocaine and certain someone. Anyhow, but yeah, we're not living in the past. We're moving forward, guys. We're moving forward, and we're gonna stay healthy. Okay, Trucker John, stay away from me. I don't want your cold, so stay away from me. By the way, and but anyway, anyhow, everyone just have a good day. How's that? Don't do cocaine, kids. Don't do cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. Just stay off of it. And also, thank you guys very much for being here. Please subscribe so Trucker John will stop crying about subscribers. Alrighty. Alrighty. Hey, all right. So there we go. We got a little appearance by those two knuckleheads, the Tough Cookie and Paul, the purple beard guy. Troll Slayer says, "Me not hurt, Scroll Girl. I is nice guy." For some reason, Kevin, the Troll Slayer, is talking like a caveman or something. I don't know. City Folks, this is a drug-free chat room. Yes, no drugs in the chat room. The only drug here is donuts. Sugar, I guess. Although there are none presently. I've been YouTubing, say no to drugs. Barbara Nicholas says, Trucker, you missed my earlier once a shagger, always a shagger. Mad Mac with the Ukrainian colors, Slava Ukraini, absolutely. All right, guys. I guess that's it for today. All we have left to do is the good old words of the day, or words. Is that what I call it? Yeah, words of wisdom. The words of wisdom. Today's words of wisdom. Man, I must be. I do need to lay down. I must have a cold. Robert Perez. When is Chopstick Mike making an appearance? You mean this thing here? This little thing? Oh, you mean this little thing? I kind of don't like moving it around because I noticed that it makes really bad noises when I do that. So I shouldn't even do that. All right, guys. So get your pen and paper out, and for today's words of wisdom. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. All right, for today's words of wisdom.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in never sleep, broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all, sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright, but now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. My apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young, but all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love, it's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over, I'm out of here, folks. Bye.